Google Ads for real estate agents. How do you actually create it? How do you run them? And how do you do it in a way that makes sure that you're not competing for a massive cost per click against other agents potentially with bigger budgets than you? One of the biggest mistakes I see agents making is that they're going after highly competitive, very costly search terms with Google Ads and wondering why they're not generating enough leads or why it's costing them an absolute fortune. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take you through a full step-by-step follow-along tutorial showing you exactly how to create not only a normal Google ad, but one that's actually going to convert for a much more cost-effective cost per click so that you, even as a brand new agent on a lower budget, will be able to introduce Google Ads to your business and start to get clicks from people that are ready to buy, sell, or invest today.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and walk through step by step exactly how to create a Google ad that will generate you leads right now. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to run an ad. You can run it today if you want by following step by step, click by click with this tutorial. And agents who follow my previous tutorial in previous years have sent me overwhelming results that they've gotten, because what we're going to do is we're going to do it creatively in order to niche down and not have to deal with competing against people with larger budgets and more experience. You can use this even on a small budget as a new agent or somebody that's more, on a modest budget, for example, in order to get results and start running Google Ads today. So without further ado, let's get started. And if you do want my free training on every social media platform, drop a comment below. I'll give that to you too on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube ads, LinkedIn, and the like. So create campaign. Now let's look at what we're going to do. The first thing is you've got options here. So you've got sales, leads, website traffic, product and consideration, brand awareness. We want some leads. Let's be honest here, we want some damn leads. So let's get some damn leads. Let's click on leads. And now you've got a couple of different options here. So you've got the campaign type: search, display, shopping, video, smart, and discovery. Now what we want to do is we want to do a search ad. So generate customer leads with text or call ads that show near results on google.com and Google search partners. That's what we want. And now here's what you need to decide is what you want. Do you want website visits or do you want phone calls? Those are the two most popular ones for real estate agents. Now, the two things you have to be mindful of is, number one, phone calls don't convert as high. Number two, if you're using website, you need to make sure you've actually got an IDX website that can actually capture the lead in order to turn the clicks into leads, and so that you're not just wasting budget. Because I've seen agents try and run this who don't have a lead capture website, and then they're just driving traffic to their website, not getting the lead, and then they're wasting money driving traffic to other agents in their city. So for me, I am at eXp Realty. I do have KV Core, which generates leads from the IDX website that you get for free. So we're going to click website, and then you can do your website here. So if I was to type in and I want to use my website, I could come here and click it, and you've got your website. Continue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get started, and we're going to skip all this stuff. And now we're going to create the campaign name. So let's say we want to create Calgary buyers, and we're going to search for buyer leads in my market. So networks: search network, display network. Now, similar to Facebook ads, if you've watched any of my Facebook ad tutorials, I'll actually link my latest one for 2021 in the card above. You'll see that when I run Facebook ads, I don't use automatic placements, which is recommended by Facebook. The reason being is I want my budget to go as far as humanly possible. When you spread it across every option, you're wasting some of your budget on low converting opportunities. Whereas with Facebook ads, I only use Facebook newsfeed, Instagram, and Facebook Marketplace. Similarly with Google Ads, I only use the search network because I find that the ones on the display network don't actually convert as high as they do on the search network. You can use both. It's up to you. If you want to split test it, go for it. But just from my own data and research, I found that search network actually converts a bit higher. Now, we need to search for what we're looking to target. So location. So you can have the option to, again, look at entering your location. So you can target just your city if you'd like. Or if you want to get more advanced, you have far more control with Google Ads compared to what you do with Facebook ads, because you don't have special ad category. So you could actually target either A, an exact zip code or postal code, so you can target one specific area, or B, you can actually do a radius around a general area. So let's say I want to do Auburn Bay in Calgary, and I want to choose a 3-mile radius around Auburn Bay. You can see that you can target this specific area, which is an area that I used to personally farm. Now, if you want to adjust it, you can again come here, adjust it kilometers, miles. You can adjust the radius to be bigger, smaller, as you can see here. So it gives you a lot of control. So let's say that we're going to do an ad to target just general buyers in our city. We're not going to get too niche. I just wanted to show you the opportunities where you can go as niche as you want. If you would like to farm a specific area, you can go by exact zip code, postal code, or radius. Now, we're going to target presence or interest, and we're going to leave this. So we're going to leave this as is. So target, presence or interest, people in who've shown interest in these locations. Exclude people in your excluded locations. We don't have any excluded locations, so don't worry about that. Now for languages, English and French, this is auto-populated because I'm in Canada and these are the two primary languages in my country. So we're going to get rid of French just because we're primarily targeting English. So now we're going to come down to audiences, and you can see here that you've got a couple different options. You've got in-market audiences. Now this is super powerful because of the fact that you've got real estate. So when you target real estate, you can see these in-market audiences, which when you hover over this is people interested in purchasing or renting residential or commercial real estate right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select any of the ones related to purchasing houses right now. All right, so we've got apartments for sale, for rent, and then we can also type in life events, which would be people looking to buy or sell right now. But all that you need to do is select all of the ones related to purchasing in your market. Now, what we're going to do is you can, of course, leave this, and now we're going to attach the budget. So for the budget, I usually like to do something like $15 a day. Just to have a sufficient budget to actually start to run ads. You can go lower if you want. You can go to $10 a day, but I like, just based on the level of competition of Google Ads, to actually do a budget that's a bit higher than you would naturally on Facebook, because you are doing cost per click. You're not just promoting it on views. So what we're going to do is we're going to do conversions, right? So you've got bidding. We want to focus on conversions, conversion value, or clicks. We're going to select clicks, okay? So you've chosen to focus on clicks, but you can track your conversion. So if you want to, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Now, you can set the maximum cost per click if you would like. You can see here, maximum CPC bid is limited advanced option for people who want more control. A bid sets limits so that you don't spend over a certain amount. So if you want to say that you don't want to pay more than $3 a click, then you can select a maximum CPC. So if you're on a tighter budget, it is advantageous to set a max CPC so you're not overspending, wondering why you're only getting one click for $15. This way, they will only allow people to click on it if it's less than this. So it's really powerful. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So you've got ad extensions, okay? Get up to 15% higher click-through rate by showing additional information about your ads. Site link extensions, call-out extensions, call extensions. This probably sounds foreign to you, and trust me, when I first heard about it too, it sounded like a different language to me. I had no idea what any of it meant. So let me walk through exactly how to understand this so that you get a better idea of it. So let's start with site link extensions. Now, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to overlay on the screen right now exactly where a site link extension shows up on a traditional Google ad so that you can visually see how this looks. So you can see here with past Google ads that I've run, what I've done is you need to understand that the ads that convert the best are the ones that provide the most value to the end consumer. And by doing the work for it, convenience sells. So if you can conveniently do some of the work for a potential buyer in your market, you have to understand anybody can search on Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, any of these sites. So why would they click on your ad versus something else? They're going to click on your ad if you're doing some of the work for them. So if you're running a buyer's ad, for example, what I would typically do is run something like, okay, 500 to, or 250K to 500. Then we're going to do 500 to 750. Then we're going to do 750 or higher. So now you can see, and we can even go 250K or less. So now what we've got are 4 different primary selections that a potential buyer can click on, similar to the example I showed you with the overlay, so that whenever somebody sees our Google ad, they can actually click on exactly what they want to be seeing and not have to do the filtering. Now, if you want to create a new site link extension, you can come here and create it. So you can again say something like 500K plus, and then you don't need a description here, but you can do the final URL, which would be simply coming to your website, and then I would type in something like Calgary. I would choose single family, and then I would choose 500K plus, right? If I wanted to create a brand new one. So you've got $500,000 to max. And then whenever we search, this would actually be the link here that you would input on your final URL. Okay. So those are how you can create different site link extensions exactly like this, as I showed you previously with the other ones. So you can go ahead and create any of these like I've created for myself. And you can actually preview it here where you can say, boom, this is exactly how it's going to look, right? So you're going to see the headline, the description, and these different call to actions here. You can preview it on different desktops. So this is on mobile, this is on desktop, this is on YouTube mobile, right? So it gives you an example of what this is going to look like. Now what we're going to do that we have our site link extensions is we're going to do the call out extensions. And we all know that this sounds foreign as well. So again, I'm going to overlay on my screen exactly where the call out extension shows. So this is just some different information that you can put in order to, again, call to action, which is why it's called the call out extension, for people to get in touch with you. So if they want to call now, if they want to book appointment, or maybe you want to put another one, which is like, 10 years of experience or something like that. But let's look at how these 3 that I've previously used, this one's actually auto-populated just by nature of Google, how it looks. So you can see here, call now, book appointment, houses for sale in YYC, which is the airplane code for my city. Boom. So now we've got our call out extensions. Now the final is your call extensions. So this is my personal cell phone number. Please don't blow it up. But you can put in your cell phone number here and you can preview and see, boom, there's where they can call, right? If you want to add the call extensions. So those are the different ad extensions which really do help you with converting higher. Now we're going to save and continue. So now you can see at the top here, we have selected our campaign. And now we're going to set up the ad group. So the ad group 1, we're going to do Calgary home buyers. You can see here that find relevant keywords using this. So this is the website that we're using. And you can see all the different key phrases that I've used in here that are just auto-populated. So let me kind of walk you through how to understand this, because there's some specific things down here that you might not have noticed that are really important. So match types help control which searches can trigger your ads. So if you just use a keyword, it's a broad match. And what that means is that if, for example, Calgary homes, if there's any sort of variation, misspelling, or any sort of, difference in the type here, your ad can still show up. So let's say somebody spelled Calgary incorrectly, or they wrote Calgary homes for sale or Calgary homes for rent. If they added anything, it's a broad match. Your ad can still show up. So keywords with no parentheses are broad matches. If there's misspelling, if there's any differences, it will still show up. Keyword in parentheses with these is a phrase match. And you can see here, this actually breaks it down for you. If we learn more, I want to walk you through this. You can see a broad match. So ad may show on searches that are related to your keyword, which include searches that do not contain the keyword terms. This helps you attract more visitors, spend less time building keyword lists, and focus on spending your keywords at your work. Broad match is the default match that all of your keywords are assigned to. So this is very broad, right? And you can see some examples down here. Now, phrase match. Ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. The meaning of your keyword can be implied. The user searches can be more specific form of meaning. Phrase match is more flexible than exact match, but is more targeted than the default match, okay? So, for example, you can see here the syntax match is to put quotes around it, and a broad match, it would be like this. So the big difference between broad and the phrase match is the fact that if somebody was typing in Calgary Homes, if they misspelled it, if it has anything to do with Calgary Homes, it will show up. With keywords in the quotations, if it was Calgary Homes for Sale, it would show up. But if Calgary was misspelled, if Homes was misspelled, or if Calgary Homes was not included at all, it will not show up. So this is more specific. Now, when you start to use the actual brackets right here, this is an exact match. So this is the most specific you can get, meaning that houses for sale in Calgary, the ad will only show up when that exact phrase is actually typed in by somebody on Google. Now, what you want to be doing ideally is actually a blend of these. So what I would do is if I was actually to go back and kind of adjust this, what I would do is actually type in like houses for sale in Calgary. And then you could also do one, houses for sale in Calgary. And then you can write in homes for sale in Calgary. And you can start to do a blend of broad keyword and exact matches so that way you, no matter what people are searching, they will find your ad. Now, the last thing I want to say on the keyword searches is how to get the best results. Couple of different things. Number one, the more specific you get, the higher you're going to convert, the lower you're going to have to pay if you're niching down. Because the problem is most big agents in your market are using these very broad search terms. So the more specific you get, the less competition there's going to be, which is why even though I'm doing a generic Google ad here, if I was to do this for my own specific market, I would actually choose an exact community and do keywords solely related to that farm area or that community so that way I can be very niche and I'm not being too broad, spreading my budget too thin. So I highly recommend doing this strategy if you're on a more lean budget to be very, very niche, very, very targeted. So all you need to do is do a blend, as you can see here. And if we were to get rid of these, it will actually show you keywords, right? So it'll actually populate it for you, but the more control you have, the better. So if we were to type in homes for sale in Calgary, Calgary real estate, buying a home in Calgary, Calgary homes for sale. And again, just do a blend of different ones using both broad, phrase, and exact, and you're good to go. Save and continue once you've populated that as well. And now the final thing is actually creating the ad. So what we're going to do here is we've got a couple different things. We've got the final destination URL here. Now you've also got a display URL. So what this is the path part that are in the green text. So you can start to customize this to help convert better. So if you wanted to say Calgary homes for sale, this is what it's going to look like on your ad. Is actually going to show up so that it shows a bit more enticing instead of this long URL here, which is all this craziness. It's just going to show up as this Calgary homes for sale. Done. So now what we're going to do is write in the final details related to the headlines, right? So you can see that it gives you more ideas, right? So if you look at more ideas, it's going to pull up different ones that are going to show you where the headline actually shows up. So you can see here, you've got different things related to Calgary homes for sale, but will that show up for sale? Okay, so that's number one, right? And you can see what the headline is. So pinning it is a headline. Now the next one is you can say browse the hottest listings or something related to your market. And headline 3, you can see that you've now got a third or fourth headline. You've got a ton of different options here. And then you can write in a third if you would like to, which again, just depending on your market, you can look at some of the more ideas, which is looking at this. So you can say updated in real time daily. Something like that, right? So now you've got your ad where you can see that you've got add more headlines, view ideas. You can make your headlines more unique. So if you wanted to see what does your business offer, right? So you can start to look at some of the different examples that it'll give you, make your descriptions more unique, things like that, but we don't need it. So now what we're going to do finally is to write the descriptions now that we've got our headlines. So you can say something like browse the most up-to-date listings for sale in the communities you love the most. And then you can say something like updated in real time so you never miss your dream home, or never miss the opportunity to find your dream home. Something like that, right? And then the URL options, we've already got it down. And now all you have to do is click create and continue. And now it's going to give you a chance to review it. And now all you have to do is click publish and you're done. So that's exactly how you create a high converting Google ad in 2021. If you have any questions about this process, about what keywords to use, what links to use, anything else, drop a comment. I'm more than happy to help you in the comment section because I do respond to everybody that comments on my videos. So get started, start running some niche-based community farming Google ads. It works incredibly well, especially if you're a new agent looking to get your first few deals. It's a great opportunity for you to spend a small amount, niche down, go super hyper targeted, and start to get some incredible hot and warm leads. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.